We now head to southern Africa, where activists Michael Amu-she-lelo and Dim-bulu-keni, Nau-yoma, alongside Parliamentarian Inna Hengari, are set to appear in court in Namibia on Wednesday. The trio were arrested last Tuesday after leading an unsanctioned protest against the country's high unemployment rate. As a result, the case was postponed to March 29th. The Member of Parliament Hengari was granted bail of 5,000 Namibian dollars on Friday, where the others remain in custody. The arrests have sparked widespread criticism and a broader debate about freedom of expression and the right to protest. The High Court had denied their application to stage a protest on Independence Day, following a warning from Namibian Police Chief Inspector General Joseph Shikongo. Despite this denial, they proceeded with the protest, leading to their arrest and subsequent charges of contravening the Public Gatherings Proclamation of 1989, malicious damage to property, and inciting damage to property, as well as contempt of court. The situation has also highlighted the issue of police brutality in Namibia, with civil cases against the police reportedly on the rise. Joining me live now from Windhoek, Namibia tonight is the legal representative of two of the gentlemen of the activists. I have Kadhila Amoomo of Kadhila Amoomo Legal Practitioners, and he is representing D. Nau-yoma and Michael Amu-she-lelo. We were expecting the representative of the Parliamentarian Hengari, but he unfortunately pulled out at the last minute. Welcome to NC Continental Prime. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Kadhila, can you hear me?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. So we want to get the latest developments and updates when it comes to your clients' cases right now. Can you tell us what the latest is?
Actually, I'm Mr. Tjituri. I'm the legal representative for the Parliamentarian. Unfortunately, Mr. Amoomo was unable to make it. Regarding the question, what is the situation on the ground? At the moment, the last appearance of this case was on the 23rd of March, where our client, particularly the Parliamentarian, was granted bail of 5,000 Namibian dollars. But also there was a note on the police docket that the Prosecutor General of the Republic wished to direct the police enforcement to conduct certain investigation, and so that she can determine how to move the case when it comes back tomorrow.
Okay, apologies for that mix-up earlier. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, when we look at the arrests of your clients, it's also sparked a larger conversation around freedom of expression and the right to protest in Namibia. What's your reading of this situation? Just how free is sort of the civil space in Namibia?
The civil space in Namibia has been one of the most formidable and quite stable when you compare it to other African nations, and it has been rated highly. But of late, one would have noted concerning situation or instances where the police would have used their force in a manner that is unbecoming. In fact, it is now the police that are acting in an unlawful way by committing these police brutalities, such that in the past they have been sued by these private individuals, and the government had to pay a huge sum of money in this type of civil suits. And so, yes.
No, go ahead, please.
Yes. So again, in the instance of this case, the youth were merely protesting, to indicate the high unemployment rate in the country, and to indicate that they are hungry and they wish to also be employed. Whether these youth are employable or not, whether they have the requisite papers to be employed, I think that's a question for another day. But to show the grievance, that is within their rights as far as our constitution is concerned, and nothing, not even the police, should have acted in the manner that they did, because this particular freedom is enshrined in our constitution.
So you mentioned that police brutality now seems to be under the spotlight. Just how much of an issue is police brutality seemingly becoming in the country?
It has become very concerning in that every time there is protests, especially protest of national importance, such as the one in which the parliamentarian was arrested. When it concerns bread and butter issues, one would note that those are the type of instances in which police brutality has been noted over the last couple of years.
So in terms of the court denying the application to hold this protest, let's quickly look at that. What is the basis of the defense you're mounting for your clients? Must the court approve or the police approve a protest in Namibia before it can hold? Take us through sort of the legalities in terms of the right to protest, as it may be enshrined or not in Namibia's constitution.
Yes. First and foremost, it's important to note that, as I indicated earlier, that the freedom to assemble peacefully and to demonstrate on a particular issue, it's what we call a fundamental freedom under our constitution. It is not something that has to be even authorized. One does not need to go to court to seek authorization in order to hold a protest or demonstration. All that is required in terms of the law is that you give the requisite notice to the Namibian police so that they can plan all the logistics around the protest to ensure that public order, law, and peace is maintained during the actual protest.
All right.
But yes.
So finally, I apologize because of time. Before I let you go, let's look at the charges brought against your client and, of course, the gentleman also involved. This includes contraventions of the Public Gatherings Proclamation of 1989, which seems a bit old, yes. Malicious damage to property, inciting damage to property, and contempt of court for going ahead with the protest after the court had said no. Do you really see a potential for an acquittal and particularly a fair trial to happen for your clients and the other two gentlemen involved?
You are asking on whether I see the potential for an acquittal. As you know, it's very difficult in my profession to make those type of comment, to give commentary on an issue like that, whether there will be an acquittal. As the matter is currently still sub judice and still early on in the process, in the judicial process, and as I've indicated, currently we are waiting for the law enforcement to report to the court through the Office of the Prosecutor General what they have done over the last 1 week since the instructions were given to them to close some of the loopholes which the prosecutor might have seen in its case. So that is what we are going to be hearing tomorrow. Whether there will be acquittal, that is, especially in terms of the charges that has been brought. One for malicious damage to property. The claim is that the alleged damage was caused to a police vehicle and not to any of the institutions surrounding or property surrounding the place where the gathering actually took place.
Okay.
And the violation of the court order, which is a charge that has been framed as contempt of court, relates to a violation of a high court order. And I think that particular charge has been wrongly brought in the form where it currently is, because it's in the lower courts, whereas the actual contempt relates to a high court order. Yes. So we believe that a good defense can be put up for all the accused person in this matter.
All right.
I think that is all I can say at this stage.
All right, so we'll leave it at that. We know that they are meant to appear in court tomorrow, so we'll be following this case very closely. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.